It is Booker and Stryker. It is Alt 98.7, and this is a very surreal kind of moment for Stryker and I, who have played the music of Sublime on the radio for as long as we've been playing music on the radio.
That is correct.
And now joining us is the new lead singer of Sublime.
Yes.
Who happens to be the son of the lead singer of Sublime. This is the most surreal thing in the world, saying, hello,
Jakob
Nowell.
How are you? What's up, guys? So happy to be here, man. I mean, yeah. And that goes both ways. I've listened to you guys since I was very little as well. So
cool.
thank you so much for the continued support. I'm so happy to be here today.
How long has this whole thing been an idea that you could possibly be in that band? I mean, when did that enter your mindset?
I mean, I've been playing music in and out of bands for forever. I started when I was 12 years old and touring with bands since I was 17. And there's always been people who wanted it, I think, like, oh, this would be such a cool idea, but it never felt right to me, It never felt like the good situation or the timing. So really in this last year, just so many different weird kind of trippy things have converged. And, playing up there with my uncles, it couldn't feel more right. I'll tell you that much for sure.
When you were playing in bands starting at 12 years old, and Jacob is currently in another band, which I love, called Jacob's Castle, did Sublime influence your previous projects at all?
It was kind of hard for it not to in a lot of ways, Growing up, I mean, that was the only way I had to interact with lost family members. So much of his music was always spinning around. And those little elements, I think, really seeped into the way that I interact with, interface with, and create music. So whether I wanted to or not, there's always some sort of unwitting little throughput, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to be completely different, knowing the songs and then being the person singing the songs. What lyrics in particular, like what's one thing that being up there singing kind of hit you differently?
Oh man, so much of the catalog has changed its meaning. I think that's the beauty of music that stands the test of time, like Sublime stuff, is the music sits with you and it becomes a soundtrack to so many different various eras of people's lives. For me, it was just, this is my dad's music growing up. But now being up there playing it, it first hit me, I think, the second week of Coachella when we were playing Bad Fish. Those lyrics about, obviously about struggles with drug addiction and just oneself and authenticity and all that sort of thing. When I was standing up there singing, I dive deep but I'm 10 feet overhead, I almost want to switch the lyrics a little bit. I'm sitting there in front of this giant crowd and I feel totally in over my head with this crazy thing that's gotten bigger. The wildfire has spread bigger than I could have ever seen. I just wanted to get my uncles back together and jam out and have fun and be in each other's lives a little bit more with the music. And all of a sudden, people really, really took to it. So it blows my mind.
I definitely want to ask about Bud and Eric, but has it been as fun as you thought it would be? Is it overwhelming? How do you feel inside your heart and brain with all this?
It goes in waves, man. I mean, sometimes I'm just driving around town, parked in a parking lot. I'm like, I can't believe this is so sick. This is awesome. This is everything I wanted. But at the same time, there is some melancholy, We just did Fallon, and one of the first things I said when we started, it should be you here, Dad, I'm happy to serve and do this. I've always had my own bands and my own creative stuff, but even that was never the main thing for me, I always try to have a lot of different plates spinning. For me, stepping into this role felt like an act of service in a lot of ways because my dad can't be there to do it. And my uncles deserve their time in the sun and their time for their music to shine. They'd never done Coachella or gone on a late night TV show or all these things or had new music out in a long time. So I really have to be here to facilitate this thing. And a lot of times I just feel like a custodian of the music or like it's a gig. Every time I start a show, I say, my name is Jakob Nowell and this is Sublime, not I am Sublime. And I flatter people like, oh, here's the lead singer of Sublime, but I'll never think of myself quite like that. My dad was and is the only lead singer of Sublime. And I'm just here to fill in and connect some dots right now.
Let's talk about your uncles for a second.
Yeah, Booker.
Flipping this around, this has got to be utterly surreal for them as well. Talk on that a little bit, and what kind of conversations have you guys had about that?
Oh, it's been so trippy, man. I think there was so much of a desire. It was so awkward for me at first, for really most of the first shows and the first practices. I'm so nervous, and I just want, not even for... I know a lot of people are going to like it, and a lot of people, it won't be their cup of tea, and that's fine. You're never going to be the exact same as the first lead singer of a band. However, what I craved and wanted was my uncle's approval. I wanted to be like, man, I hope they're having fun. I hope they still see me as legitimate. We're having a good time. And I felt that kind of tension for the longest time until it all changed I think a big turning point was this Virginia Beach show that we had. You know, we're all so busy with so many different projects and plate spinning that we don't always have a lot of time to rehearse as much as we should have. But people forget Sublime's a punk rock band. You know, back in the day, it was always this messy, chaotic. I'm sure you guys remember.
Right. Yes.
So we had an hour and a half to fill in Virginia Beach, and we were like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? And we finished the song, and then I look over my Uncle Eric, and he's like, dude, just play this. And he just starts playing like a jam, like A to G kind of jam. And I'm like, okay. And we just started jamming for like 20 minutes and some random stuff and making it up. And I was like, oh, none of this even matters, man. Like, however big the shows are, however small, all of that oscillates and changes within life. If you're on stage having fun with people that you like to be around, none of that other stuff matters, and it just melts away. So I think when people come out to a show, I hope that they can tell that that's genuinely what's happening up there, is that we're having a good time, and yeah.
Jakob Nowell is with us. It is Booker and Stryker on Alt 98.7. So, are you going to do this for the next 10 to 20 years with the guys?
I mean, I've checked with the Oracle at Delphi, and you know, the few. And as she breathed deeply in the smoke from the mountain, you know, she saw many different visions and the stars coalescing. However, the future will always be uncertain. I can say that for as long as they want me up there doing it, and for as long as the fans are enjoying it, I will continue to serve in my role here with my uncles and keep trying to. I think the real tragedy of Sublime is they ended when they did, you know? Right. We here in California think of them as this huge, big mainstay band, but they really never eclipsed, you know, the mainstream accessibility of like a Nirvana or a lot of other 90s contemporaries. And it is my belief that Sublime and Skunk Records at large still holds and captures the hearts and minds of a lot of the youth in Southern California. I see it at the shows, and I feel it with everybody that I talk to, both online and in person. So I feel like the more that we do this, the bigger it will become. And I guess what I'm trying to say is I'll do it for as long as it takes.
All right. You're going to ruin a place tonight by the next sentence you're about to utter. I think you're up to something tonight.
Oh, yes.
This is a Friday night, everybody.
Friday night, Los Angeles.
July 12th.
It is July 12th on a Friday, and I'm telling you, if you are driving in your car right now, you need to change your destination to Christie's at Malibu. Christy, beautiful, lovely lady we love so much, who owns this awesome restaurant in Malibu, we're putting on a secret show there, surprise set. We are playing tonight, and she's asked us not to promote it at all because it's already the last time we played there, it turned into a complete riot. So let's do it even bigger. Let's have 3 riots on top of each other, and let's all jump into the ocean afterwards. Change where you're driving right now to Christie's Malibu.
The good news is you're telling Booker and Stryker audience members, so 6 to 7 people will be there tonight.
Yes! If you say that you came here because you heard it on Booker and Stryker, then you get a free Jacob's Castle t-shirt tonight. Come and tell me. Come and tell me.
That's Jakob Nowell. Thank you so much. Sublime is playing the Booker and Stryker Alt 98.7 Summer Pool Party at Yamava. You know, it's sold out. I don't know if you heard it in record time this morning.
I just heard about it this morning. I can't believe that, man. See, that is exactly what I'm talking about. People want to come hang out and do the SoCal summer, you know, pool party vibes. Let's do it.
I can't wait till people get to meet this energy in person,
Booker.
Because, man, it just falls off of you. It's awesome. And we really thank you for doing the show with your uncles. Thank you for doing this with Booker and Stryker. We could not appreciate it more. Thank you so much.
Man, I'm living my dream, and not only am I living my dream, but I'm living the dreams of so many amazing young people here in California, man. So I hope that we can keep doing it, and I can do it justice to the people out there that are important.
And you are.
Thank you.
You are doing it, man. Good job.
The man.
Love you
There
guys.
you
Thanks
go.
for having me, man.
All right,
There you go.
Jakob Nowell on Booker and Stryker. It is Alt 98.7.